Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Hasbro's Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Archangel. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we've got that nice X logo and nothing else. And on the front, we've got Marvel Legends Series over here in the corner. Got a nice big window showcasing most of the figure and accessories. Marvel Studios X-Men 97 Archangel. Don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. 4 and up, assortment number if you need that kind of thing, and Hasbro print. On this side, a little sliver of a window there. Some nice animated artwork, or animated style artwork. And then the X logo there at the bottom on the other side, and another sliver of a window, and pretty much the same thing on this side as the other side. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. And then finally, the back, Marvel Legends Series, the X-Men logo, a nice digital render of the figure, and then some close-up digital render showing some of the different features of the figure. Archangel, it says over here, warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Small, fine, legalese, made in China print, Marvel print, Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we have this rifle that he comes with, which is the same rifle that comes with X-Men 97 Cable. It's got some ports in the end of it. I'm sure there's some blast effects that will fit in there. It's got some nice molded details and paint amps right here. Nice paint amps here and on the magazine as well as the pump action part. I'm guessing that's what that is. I don't know. But, oh, and the scope has some color to it as well. So overall, it's a very nice looking piece. And again, it's the same piece that came with the X-Men 97 Cable. Next up, we have the folded up wings. You can see there's 2 posts on it right here, as well as some molded detail to help it, some indentions to help it fit on the figure. And you just got a little bit of molded detail in it, just so you can tell what it is. And we'll get to how that connects up in just a minute. Next up, here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at some of these smaller pieces, like the extra set of hands he comes with, the 1 extra set of hands. So, splayed out fingers, kind of in a reaching kind of motion. And they're kind of pointy, so clawed. In and out hinge. Nice molded details, molded in the correct color of plastic. No paint apps. And that pretty much holds true for this one, although the fingers are curled up at the end a little bit more. But everything else holds true. In and out hinge, molded in the correct color plastic. No paint apps. And here we have the alternate head sculpt, which looks pretty nice, I have to say. Nice molded ears. And I'm having problems determining whether that stripe that comes to the point in the back there is molded in and then painted on as well. I think it's just a tampo or inkjet, however they apply it. It's not molded in there, but it does kind of give that look to it a little bit around the edges, but it's not, you can't feel any indentions or bumps, lines, any stuff like that, as opposed to the line that goes around his face. It is molded in. Eyebrows, eyes, teeth, lips all look like they're inkjet. That stripe is probably inkjet too. This one, I'm not quite sure if that's inkjet or a tampo. And it's kind of the grimacing kind of face, showing his teeth. Now let's take a look at the wing pieces, and we'll take a look at each piece individually. No, well, I'll take a look at one side, each piece individually, and then I'll show you how to put them together, hopefully without too much trouble. Now here's one piece, and again, it's got some molded detail in it. It's got two ports on the end here, and it's actually supposed to be this piece right here when the wings are unfolded. And like I said, I'll show you how those work in a minute. So here's a post here that goes into this piece, and the post that goes into his back, along with where you clip on the wing piece at this kind of hinged piece here. And again, nice molded details, and it's, you know, it's got a hinge here that moves around, so that's nice. And again, there's a left and a right for these pieces except for the central piece. And then here is one of the wings. You can see the posts on it here that go in that piece I just showed you. And again, nice molded details. It's molded in like the silvery gray plastic that Hasbro likes to use. And the way that these pieces work is, you can see here, there's, you know, openings for the tabs, and you put one in and then you push it down a little bit and then push that one on till it locks into place. And you do the same thing with this side. I don't know if y'all heard that satisfying snap, but there it is. And again, you take this central piece, and this post right here on the bottom is where that pops in, and same thing on the other side. And I will say they're kind of loose in there, so there is that. That does it for the accessories. Let's take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say, overall, I like the colors of it. The last Archangel that I had was the Hit Monkey Build-A-Figure Wave one, and his colors were so dark, it was very hard to distinguish like where this pattern was on that figure. So this one, there's no difficulty discerning the pattern at all. The colors, you know, are set up dark to light to give you a lot of contrast. Now, all the stuff I said about the previous head hold true to this one, except it's a neutral face and not a grimacing face. And he's got nice paint apps for the designs throughout the figure. And I'm guessing they're all tampos. You can see he's got these two big ports in his back. Now let's talk about his articulation. Ball and hinge at the top of the neck, he can look up that high, which is good for flying poses. And then he can look down that far, which I'm guessing for like backwards flying poses, that would be good for. Plenty of chicken neck. He's got some waggle in there, not a great amount, but a pretty good bit. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, no butterflies. I really was hoping that this one was going to have butterflies. I mean, I knew from the pictures it didn't, but I would have liked for it to have had butterflies. So at the shoulder, 360 degrees worth of rotation. He can raise his arm up past 90 degrees. Cut at the upper bicep, 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you all of the bend. Now there's a separation right here. This piece has been glued in there, and it doesn't rotate or anything like that. 360 degrees worth of rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and the other side is a trigger finger hand for that rifle, and it is on an up and down hinge, so that's nice. Standard Marvel Legends ab hinge, or at least that's what I call it. In the figure's torso, allows him to lean back that far, allows him to crunch forward that far, so that's a pretty good range. I would have liked to have seen, like, you know, the ball joint in the torso or at the waist would have been my preference, or even a reverse ab hinge with the torso cut. But alas, it was not meant to be. Straight cut at the waist, 360 degrees of rotation there. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits. He kicks forward that far, not quite 90 degrees, and back about 3/4 of the length of his foot. Cut at the upper thigh, 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinge pinless knee gives you that much bend. And just above the mid shin, there's a boot cut, even though he's not really wearing a boot, but 360 degrees of rotation there. And then at the ankle, it tilts down that far. It tilts up that far. And he does have a pin for rocker. Now, as far as installing the wings, because some assembly is required, you just line the ports and the posts up and give it a push. You'll hear a little click. I'm hoping y'all could hear that, but you probably didn't. So it does click when you get it into place, and so that's how he looks unfurled. And then to get it off, you just kind of easily work it and it'll pop right off. And as far as the wings go, once you have them all assembled, again, you kind of try to line the posts and the ports up straight, at least as straight as you can, and then give them a little push once you get them in there. And this one didn't give as loud of a click as the other one, so there's that. And the wings, you know, they still move at this hinge, and I don't know why that came off. Maybe I moved it too much. I did. So if you move it too much, this piece is more than likely going to pop off. So the wing can go up at the back that far, and it can go down that far. It can bend all the way into the figure. It can bend all the way out like that. And I'm guessing the way that it's built is for this to come off, so that if you need to adjust the wings individually, that you can do that. And in fact, that does kind of make it easier to post things out, honestly. So there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure, his accessories, and assembly. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Archangel with the Marvel Legends Series Marvel Universe Build-A-Figure Collection Hit Monkey Series Archangel and the Marvel Legends Series X-Men Retro Carded Apocalypse. Just to give you an idea of how the wings on the two Archangels I have compare up, here we have the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Archangel with the Marvel Legends Marvel Universe Build-A-Figure Collection Hit Monkey Series Archangel. And you can see there's quite a bit of difference in the styles of the wings. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends Series X-Men 97 Archangel. With from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Marvel Legends series X-Men 97 Archangel, I will have to tell you that this is only the second Archangel out of Marvel Legends that I've owned, and it is the superior one by far. The colors contrast very well as I remember them from the animation and from the comic books, whereas the previous one I had, which was the Hit Monkey Build-A-Figure one, the colors were very dark and the contrast was not there. It was hard to see the stripes, and it was all kind of shiny, but that is what it is. I have an updated one now, and I have to say I really like this one. I would have liked to have seen the accessories, more accessories, or maybe a little bit different accessories. Now, I do like the wings that come on this one. I do like the fact that you can swap them out for the folded up wings. That's a bit that gets missed a lot. And, you know, I like the alternate head that it comes with. You know, he comes with the kind of neutral head on the figure, and then a more active head, I guess, grimacing countenance on the alternate head. But I would have also liked to have seen one more, which would have been him wearing the gold death mask from when he was the Horseman of Apocalypse. At least in the comic books. I don't know that he ever wore that mask in the animated series. I just don't rightly remember, but I don't think he did, because, you know, they were trying to make a kid-friendly cartoon, so no skulls. But I could be wrong about that. That appearance, he may have worn that mask at least for a little bit. But I would have liked to have seen that included with this as well, because I feel like this figure, the colors, the sculpt and stuff, while it is X-Men 97, it does lend itself to the more comic look as well. At least, you know, his early comic look from the mid 80s, 85, 86. I want to say 86. So there is that. I do like the wings that come on this one. I like the shape of them. I think it's really cool. The hinges in it kind of break those lines up a little bit when you're articulating them. And I'm talking about those big hinges in the middle, not the ones at the shoulder. So there is that. That central piece that connects to the bottom does hinder things up somewhat as far as some posing could go, but it's easily removed, and the wings do pivot in their sockets on the figure's back, so that's a good thing. So as long as you don't have to see his back, you're all good, I guess. But I'd have to say, overall, I really like this one. It's more deco apps than sculpting going on this figure, and that's fine, because you know it's a skin tight uniform, and you know all those details don't really need to be sculpted in. I do like the fact that they sculpted in like the line around his face. That's a sculpted piece, so I did like that. And the printing on the stripes on top of his head, they had me fooled there for a moment. I thought they were sculpted into, but they were not. And so I guess that's really about it. If you like X-Men 97, this figure warrants a look. If you're an X-Men fan, period, this figure warrants a look. And you know, if you're trying to kind of complete a original X-Factor team, I think this figure kind of lends itself into that too, as far as, you know, after issue 25, Fall of the Mutants storyline. I think it was issue 25 where he became Archangel. You know, the originally, you know, was Angel, and then after Apocalypse did some experiments on him after they thought he was dead and all that. Or I guess I shouldn't say that D word on YouTube, but I said it, so there it is. But you know, overall, again, I like this, and of course, as always, your mileage may vary, and that is an okay thing. Is this the best they can do? No, I think they can do better. So some of this is probably going to see reuse in a comic version. But as far as right now, you know, this one is going with my X-Men 97, or he can go with my comic stuff. He can. It seems like he can fit either way, and for me, that's fine. I enjoy that it can work either way. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's always better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.